Hey family, Dad here. Hope you're having a great day. So recently I hit a major financial milestone, a 7-figure financial portfolio, and just want to share my experiences and the 8 things that I did to eventually build up to a 7-figure portfolio. Now, I've said on previous videos, I'm 50 years old. I've been investing since I started at 30, and it's been a long, windy road of a lot of peaks and valleys that I've had to deal with. And I've shared, I've been through a divorce, custody battle with my kids, child support, been laid off 4 times, have had 9 jobs in my working career after college, 7 jobs between the ages of 40 and 50, which I'm 50 today. So it was never linear. It was never a straight line. Graduated college. I started my first job, real job at 23, and I did open up a 401k. And I had it for 6 years, and I quietly contributed, but cashed it out during my divorce in 2005, 2006 to pay bills, and I was in between jobs. Now, it was roughly about 35, 40K at the time, and I still bang my head against the wall about cashing it out versus creating a plan to eventually pay off my debt. Now, it did take for me 20 years, and for majority of us, we didn't start a unicorn business that sold for billions of dollars. For majority of us, we just did a corporate job, a regular 9-to-5 job that had a 401k where we could contribute, and the company probably contributes as well a little bit. I've had corporate sales jobs for pretty much all my working career post-college. And just slowly and steady, I just contributed over the course of 20 years to get to where I'm at today. And I've been through several recessions, especially the big one back in 2008, 2009, the housing crisis. I also was there during the 9/11. I remember the stock market went down, plummeted. And so there's been quite a few years over the course of 20 years where the stock market took a dive. The most recent one was probably 2022. That was when the Ukraine war started. Inflation started kicking in significantly. But along the way, just kind of slowly trudged along, contributed regularly to my 401k, to my HSA, to my brokerage account. Along the way, just padding my savings, my rainy day account as well. So here are 8 things that I did to slow and steady build my 7-figure financial portfolio. The first one is just being consistent. It's a long game, and you have to have that mindset. You can't have the mindset that, I'll just invest a little later. That's not going to happen. You have to be consistent and have those goals that it's going to be the long game. And that goes into my next one, is just focus on the long term. A lot of people don't think about it at 20, 25, 30, 35 years old about retirement. Tell you at 50 years old, 40 years old was just a blink of an eye. 10 years of change has went by so fast. Even 30 to 40, it just went so fast. A lot of things have happened, but one thing you got to keep in the mind is, you got to focus on the long term. Minimize the debt. Don't have any credit card debt. Live within your means. Having debt will create a lot of stress, and then a good chunk of your paycheck will be taken out due to debt. Make it automatic. Every paycheck that I have, my 401k, my investments, my HSA gets automatically taken out. So I don't even see it in my paycheck. And that gives me a little bit of a simplicity in my life as well, knowing that I'm already investing every time a paycheck comes into my bank account. And it doesn't even have to be that much, $100 a month to start, $50 even per paycheck to start. A little bit goes a long way. And the big thing is just time. If you have time on your hands, start doing it, let it ride. One thing I did as well is just increase my contributions with every pay increase and every bonus. I get a paycheck every 2 weeks. That's automatically taken out into 401k, my HSA, and investment buckets. But with every bonus check, every pay increase, I make it a priority first to increase my contributions. It could be 1%, it could be 3%, it could be 4%. This year, when I did get a merit increase, I got a merit increase of about 4%. I increased my contribution an additional 2% of my 401k, and then I increased my brokerage account contributions by another $100 per month. With every merit increase, I don't go out to celebrate. I celebrate by increasing my contributions, and it makes me feel good. Now, with every bonus, I get quarterly commission bonuses. Majority of that just goes into savings, investment buckets, or to pay down my mortgage. So it's a nice little treat. Number 6 would be just pay attention to your spending. You got to budget. Now, for me, I'm very meticulous about budgeting every month, every week, every day. Any kind of charges that I have, I just put it in my budget app. I use the Dave Ramsey Every Dollar app. It's worked out for me for years. So I can see where my spending is, what categories, where I need to trim my spending. Now, recently, a couple things that came up that I'm going to start implementing is a streaming service, Peacock specifically. I realized the last couple months I haven't been using it, so I'm just going to cancel it. Now, if there's a new show that pops up that I'm interested in watching, I can just resubscribe to it. And another thing I noticed as part of my budgeting is my auto insurance. So recently, I've been looking at auto insurance quotes just to see what I'm paying now is going to be on par with what other insurance companies pay. Right now, I have Progressive. I pay about $1,900 every 6 months, and that's for 3 cars along with my kids. And I started shopping around and I saw a couple of insurance companies that were actually a lot cheaper. One of them was actually about $400 or $500 cheaper every 6 months. So that's something I'm contemplating about switching over within the next month. Another one is don't buy too much house or too much car. I've seen too many people get way over their head in buying a new house or buying a new car, and their payments are ridiculous. Today's car market for a new car, I've heard like 7 years, 8 years loans, and the average cost is like, I think $700-800 a month. That is mind blowing. With my cars that I've purchased, I've always purchased cheap, used, reliable cars. And to this day, I still have all 3 of them. And I paid them off early and they still run. And my plan is to keep driving them until they die. And no one cares what you drive. At the end of the day, looking back as a 50-year-old, no one really cares. You're the only one that cares about having an image, maybe self-confidence issues, maybe want to portraying an image that you have money. But for majority of them that have all these absorbent amount of car debt, you're just making it worse on yourself. And the last one I like to say, and I think it's pretty important on me building my 7-figure investment savings portfolio, is that look for ways to make more income. Now, like I said, I've always had a corporate job, 9-to-5 job, but I've had 9 jobs in my working career. Yes, I've been laid off 4 times, but I've always looked at more income. I've always believed I'm worth more than what my company is paying me. Between ages of 40 to 50, I've had 7 jobs. I've been laid off a few times, but I've always taken another role because that next company valued my worth. I do the same exact thing, but they would pay me 20-25% more. And for me, what that means is I can invest, I can save more if I took that next job. Now, that next job has got to be the right fit as well. You know, you definitely got to feel out the management, the leadership, and see if it aligns with you. Those are the big things as well. But also pay should be a good thing and keep in mind. Because I think a lot of people don't realize, how much they're worth. And I think that's really important in this day and age, to know what your worth is, to see what other competitor companies are paying, and if that aligns to what you're paying and what you're being paid. And if it's not, then maybe you should evaluate that and take a look to see if it makes sense to make the move. I've been laid off, yes, and I've had to take lesser roles, lesser pay after a layoff, but I always look a year later, 6 months, even a year later, to see what the market is out there and if I am worth more than what I'm getting paid. So those are the 8 things. Tell me your thoughts. Is there anything else that you consider if you have a big net worth? Comment, like, subscribe. I would definitely appreciate it. So that's all I got. I'll see you all at the next video.